Story 1. Screaming Marmot Never Fails. That dub is absolutely perfect. Story 2. The History of the Entire World, I guess. Story 3. Richard Simmons on Whose Line Is It Anyway? Story 4. One video shows them pranking their dad at Starbucks drive-thru by saying, "Fratamat," and "Frinkety drinkety," or something. It is very funny. Story 5. Ricky Gervais and Carl Pilkington in Learning English. Years old now but still gets me every time. Story 6. Fenton. Every dog owner knows this feeling. Story 7. Mick Jagger and David Bowie dancing in the streets with the music removed. Story 8. Have you ever had a dream that you could do anything you wanted? That you wanted it so much you could do it? Story 9. National Football League bad lip reading. An orange peanut? For me? Well, I accept you. Story 10. Lonely Island Mother Lover. Pure gold. I like it more than dick in a box. Story 11. Tea consent video. I still can't believe they showed us that in school. They would never today. If a girl is unconscious, she does not want tea. You should not make her drink tea. Story 12. The original video of contagious laughter. Story 13. Daddy, chill. What is that? And the old David Blaine spoof videos where Mikey Day was just a guy making YouTube videos with his friends. Story 14. This dog is funny. Story 15. Any cat fail compilation that starts with this epic display of miscalculation. Story 16. Cat versus printer. Story 17. Either Matt Berry's The Boyfriend compilation, The Boyfriend sketches, or Liam Neeson does improv. Life's too short. Story 18. That all the single ladies clown mask lady is bumping her head on a television. Story 19. A group of people with unusual laughter were put together on a television show. Story 20. I watch My Name is John Dacre at least once a month. Yesterday, as a matter of fact. Story 21. Who brought the nearsighted kid to the pool? Fully aware I am going to hell for laughing at it, but I cannot help it. Story 22. David after the dentist. My girlfriend and I quite often say, "Is this real life?" Story 23. Eddie Izzard, Death Star Canteen. Story 24. Sexual harassment in the workplace training video. Story 25. I frequently go back to George Carlin's bit of the 7 words you cannot say on television. There is just something about his rhythm and delivery that is perfection. Story 26. Tough to say, but usually something from the kids in the hall. I am a bad doctor. Story 27. Anything by Texas Bushman. He dresses in plant outfits, sits in a pot, and scares people walking by. He is amazing. Story 28. BBC News reporter starts laughing uncontrollably while trying to report during exposure to burning substances. Story 29. The little girl is telling her mother there is a goat outside. Story 30. The usher goat. Story 31. This news anchor is giggling at a fat cat. Story 32. The newsreader laughed at the model falling over. Story 33. I hope it does not make me a terrible person, but Madonna being pulled down those stairs at the British Awards. Story 34. This one never disappoints. Story 35. The news clip where they are stomping grapes and she falls out. I lose it every time. Story 36. A stand-up routine about everyday awkward moments always makes me laugh. Story 37. Every time I need to laugh, I just think about the messages from Army Hammer. Story 38. That video of a dog trying to howl but just ends up making weird noises cracks me up every time. Story 39. 4 reasons I cannot explain. It is this video. Story 40. Belfast by Dr. Dot. A lovely American lady doing a travel vlog in Belfast, but for some reason deciding to interview a group of young men drinking cheap beer and sniffing glue in a graveyard. Story 41. The Californian sketch from Saturday Night Live where Kristen Wiig's character pretends to be a guy. Story 42. Kevin McAleer on Friday Night Live. When he gets to the owl arms, I thought I might die of laughing. Story 43. The video of the girl who went to the dentist shows her face still contorted from the Novocaine. Then she says, I am not going to school today, and bursts into laughter. That video is ridiculously funny. Story 44. The one with the man watching the television and his cats knocking over a coat stand and literally flying across the room. What just happened? Just superb. Story 45. And then, 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 and then. Story 46. Colbert Report, where he thanks Arab American viewers for donating to his Super Political Action Committee. Story 47. This one. Story 48. Batman the Joker by Pete Holmes. Where is she? Who? Story 49. Remembered this gem recently. Top motivational pictures with deep meaning. Try not to cry. Story 50. The lightning strike news blooper. Well, it gets me every time. Story 51. Dad at Comedy Barn, the best laugh ever. Story 52. I'm unable to access external links. Please provide the text you want me to process. Story 53. Oh my God. Did you see Brian's hat? Story 54. In Jackass, when Bam gets hit by that giant high-five hand, it kills me every time. Bam gets flattened. Story 55. Nintendo, when you pirate a 30-year-old game. Please match this masterpiece. Story 56. The Russian horse ambulance is a slow starter. Story 57. Cookie Monster and Kermit Mystery Box. Iconic and hilarious, wholesome, and nothing to do with the end of the movie 7. Story 58. This. Every time. Story 59. Rosita's Las Paelleras. The story is great, and the laughter is contagious. Story 60. The video where a man slams a bottle of Sprite, freaks out, and slams his head into the garage door. Classic moment that always makes me laugh. Story 61. I'm unable to access external links. Please provide the text you want me to edit. Story 62. This will never get old. Story 63. The Dutch television talk show host who cannot stop laughing at the man with the funny voice. Story 64. This well, Yugi. Story 65. The Screaming Mummy. Story 66. A little obscure, but this is my favorite. Story 67. This classic is almost 20 years old. It is probably the oldest video in my YouTube favorites. Story 68. This is my YouTube playlist called The Greatest of All Time. They are all very short. Each one is a guaranteed laugh for me, even after watching them dozens of times. Story 69. 25 Ways to Kill Yoshi. Story 70. On YouTube, it is called The Funniest Interview You Will Ever See. Story 71. I rewatched the Hoff Twins documentary by Nick Mosher. It never fails. Story 72. What is the charge for eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Story 73. This is what you get for being too exhausted on the trampoline. Story 74. Gato Malo. Watching that Persian cat slowly knock a shot glass off a table while maintaining eye contact always makes me laugh. Story 75. That old news video shows a woman stomping grapes on a stage. Then she falls off the camera view and moans loudly for a minute while the newscaster tries to recover the situation. Story 76. A soggy duplex basement bit from Legends of Evantris. This clip has it all. Dungeon Master seemingly nerfing a player on the fly. Stellar acting. Contagious laughter. It's just good. Story 77. The parody video of Mana where she is singing and suddenly falls, saying, I am not going to fall anymore. Story 78. Those Henry Danger memes used to crack me up. But there is a guy on TikTok now who leaves messages to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Marjorie Taylor Greene. They are so funny. Please, it is hilarious. Story 79. Gentleman's Moose Master by Smosh. Story 80. Terry Tate. Office Linebacker. Story 81. Anything Dave Chappelle, especially anything from Dave Chappelle 2018 and after. Story 82. There is a video on YouTube where the mother puts fake eyebrows on her baby. The father comes in and laughs at the cute and adorable look while the baby is clueless about why the father is laughing at her. Story 83. A Baltimore barber spraying alcohol on a child's face while speaking nonsense is remarkable. Story 84. Greg Davies on Big Fat Quiz talking about Netflix and chill. Kills me. Also James Acaster on Would I Lie to You and the Cabbage Kid. Story 85. Any of the Game Grumps animated episodes. Especially Bienvenue Power Bottoms, and I fired and I missed, so I fired again. Now I'm gonna watch those videos. Story 86. Jesus Christ. The Musical. A short video that has no connection to the Superstar musical. Story 87. The grape-stomping lady on YouTube who cheats and falls off the stage. Literally crying and laughing every time. I do not know why. Story 88. An interview with the German rapper Thomas from years ago. Story 89. Come here, dear. We have corn over here. Look a gon, look a cow. Story 90. A saved video of my sister face planting in the front yard while running to the front door. Story 91. I am a simple man. Just show me some Steve Harvey Family Feud. Story 92. Oh, I spilled. Story 93. 2 television moments. Reverend Jim's driving test on Taxi and Teddy and Bob preparing Thanksgiving dinner on Bob's Burgers. Story 94. Many of the turkey gobbling videos. Story 95. I can't find it anywhere else, but I have it bookmarked on Facebook. It is called Guy Goes on the Lash with His Mate. It is a good example of how going out for one beer is never just one beer. Story 96. The 11-foot-8 bridge compilation. I cried and laughed the first time I watched this. Story 97. The Capybara Song. Today I want to eat a croissant. Also, What Did Jack Do by David Lynch if I want a short film. Story 98. Mr. Cheese City said, having a well-stocked fridge will attract women. Story 99. We just wanted to be bad guys. Story 100. Kittens inspired by kittens. Story 101. Bear getting hit in the nuts has me in tears every time. Ow, my balls. Story 102. Make me fries. The nail. Story 103. These people are talking about the Pokemon movie. I quote this several times a week. Story 104. I go on YouTube, find a live Motley Crue performance after 2015, and turn on the auto-generated captions. Make sure to check out the comment section. A close second is the person who held the world record for fastest speaking in the 2000s. Then slow it down to half speed to hear him spouting absolute gibberish. Story 105. Jessica No. Story 106. It's just the way he leaps up into the air. Story 107. There is one that is about 20 years old. It starts with the text, "The Toronto Maple Leafs win the Stanley Cup." Then cuts to a baby laughing and falling over. Story 108. Saturday Night Live actor Kenan Thompson plays Steve Harvey on the game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Story 109. The fear on his face from merely seeing the blower makes me lose control. Story 110. Bill O'Reilly's on-camera meltdown remix version. Story 111. Dad at Comedy Barn. I do not know if it is physically possible not to laugh along. Story 112. Nigella Lawson's dirty cookery. So childish but still really funny. Fishy juices gets me every time. Story 113. Any videos of young children running in a house of mirrors. That always gets me. Story 114. Thierry Henry guessed himself wrong twice when playing Hi, My Name Is for Columbia Broadcasting System. Story 115. Got some player. Story 116. Shooting star meme, but it's a kid trapped on a spinning go-kart. You want daddy to throw you in the water? Story 117. Todd Rickson potluck. Story 118. Walker told me I have acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. What can I say? I have a dark sense of humor. Story 119. A short clip of the player death scream from an old game called Bolt Gun. Story 120. I have watched this hundreds of times, and it still brings a smile to my face no matter my mood. Story 121. Bob Mortimer stars in Their Eyes George Michael. Story 122. Mark Henry Sidemen YouTube. Story 123. Anything by the Electric Amish, especially Black Bonnet Girls. Story 124. I have several. Backup Terry. Backup. Bootleg Fireworks. Antoine Dotson, Hide Your Kids. Dead Giveaway. Story 125. Richard. Story 126. The woman is having an existential crisis about the man putting all of the shape blocks into the square hole. He gets me every time. Which hole does the half circle go into? That's right, the square hole. Uncontrollable distress. Story 127. Any Key and Peele skit, but my favorite is the Terrys on the plane skit. Story 128. The Count censored. Story 129. How is pregnancy formed? Story 130. Robin Williams' bit about how the Scots created golf. Or Zay Frank's Sad Cat Diaries or Sad Dog Diaries. Story 131. Where's the money, Lebowski? But it's some poor baby being violently baptized, laughing my face off. Story 132. The one where the man sprays liquid on a microphone and interviews someone. What's on that microphone, man? Nothing. This is my nephew's microphone. Story 133. Heavy rain chase fail with hilarious laughter. The absurd gameplay and that guy's insane laughter always have me dying. Story 134. The exploding whale news segment has been my go-to for about 20 years. Story 135. Arthur, get out of the tank. You are not my dad. It never fails to make me laugh. Story 136. Dark Side of Wrestling, where Haku sees the Shockmaster's debut botch. His laughter gets me every time. Story 137. I have a video of a streaming platform streamer who describes how her voice sounds after different weeks of watching animated television shows. Story 138. The video explores what a Neanderthal would sound like. Story 139. Dog wants a kitten. Story 140. Oh my God. What do I do? Sound of soul exiting body. And of course, the front fell off. Story 141. A high school student is punched in the face when he pops out of a garbage can during a hallway interview about Halloween. Story 142. No text was provided to process. Please provide the text content for correction. Story 143. The man with nunchucks doing a backflip and landing on his face. Story 144. Tom Holland's lip sync battle. It is my favorite video on the whole internet, and I have been watching it every few months since it came out. Story 145. How animals eat their food. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.